Guys, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And hey, what's going on? The report with the Black Mask. How are you? Now, if you're watching this video live, you're probably wondering why I'm up so late. It's because I'm always up and I'm always taking naps. I take naps all throughout the day. Sleeping is really, really important for you. So make sure you get plenty of sleep. And also, when you're awake, try to be productive. Try to use your time wisely. That's something that I do. Actually, I teach a whole program on time management and goal setting and everything else. If you want to take a look at that, go to blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. Feel free to go check that out. Now, here's what I wanted to talk about real quick. I actually had a thought on Tyler Perry, and you know, one of the things I can say is that this week I was really impressed with Tyler Perry in his grand opening of Tyler Perry Studios. I think it's really great. I congratulate him on that. And one of the things that he mentioned is this idea that Hollywood ignores him. He was doing an interview with Gayle King, who is best friends with Oprah, who Tyler works with closely. So Gayle came in and did an interview with Tyler in the Diane Carroll studio. Which Diane Carroll had actually died that day, which I thought was really interesting, kind of ironic. Diane Carroll was one of the more respected Black people in Hollywood. And now here's the thing. So they were talking about Hollywood and how they don't pay much attention to Tyler Perry. Tyler is kind of the guy who kind of sneaks up on them, and how they kind of freak out when they're like, wait a minute, oh, wait, this Negro made that much money. Like, how did this Negro make all this money without getting our approval? And I understand that sentiment a lot, and I agree. Tyler is ignored in Hollywood for the most part. I mean, relatively speaking. I mean, you would expect that a guy who makes that kind of money, who's doing things at that level, you would expect that he's going to get a lot of attention in Hollywood, and Tyler doesn't get attention. But I think in my mind, I remember thinking, what does it mean to be ignored? What does that mean to be ignored? Well, ignored to me kind of means, it doesn't mean people don't know that you're there, right? They know that you're there, but they're just not paying attention to you. And they're not acknowledging you. They're not validating you. They're not, signing off on you. They're not co-signing and supporting you. And I would argue that a big part of the reason Tyler Perry gets ignored in Hollywood, that they don't really validate him or mention him, is because I think that there's kind of a jealousy factor that pops up when, not just based on race, but also that is part of it, but also based on how you make your money, what kind of films you use to make money, what kind of products are you putting out there, right? Because you've got people in Hollywood who are similar to, anybody ever see the controversy with Good Times, and how the cast members of Good Times, they all hated JJ? The mother, oh gosh, is Esther Roll, is that her name? Esther Roll. She couldn't stand Jimmy Walker's character, and neither could the father, the John Amos. John Amos didn't like JJ's character because they felt that it was coonery and buffoonery. They felt like it was just, like a dynamite, right? And they were sort of like, no, we're well-trained actors. We went to, these special programs, and we went to Juilliard, and we've been acting on Broadway, and we want to use this platform to address important social issues. And that often conflicts with business models. Business models say, give the customer what they want, what they'll pay for, make your money and bounce. And that's why that's the difference between, I don't know, so, a high quality film that nobody wants to see versus, say, a Rocky movie. Like, people will pay to go see a Rocky movie because they want to watch two guys go in a ring and beat each other's brains out, and they'll pay their money for that. But you might give them another film that's super high quality that'll win every Oscar and every Academy, all the Academy Awards and all that other crap, and the movie doesn't make any money, right? So that's sort of that's a consistent conflict between art and business. It's always going to happen. It's always happened. Artists tend to be risk takers. They care deeply about the art, whereas those on the business side are saying, yeah, the art's nice, but you can't have the art without making money. And so how are we going to make money from this? Who's going to watch this, right? So Tyler Perry has figured out the business side very, very well. His art side can be questioned, right? In terms of what quality of art are you putting out? We're watching Madea Part 10. Like I don't really know. Like, think about this. I think they put out maybe five or six Rocky movies, and that's a lot. How many Madea movies are there? Let me see here. Let me look and see how many Madea movies he's made. I see Medea's Big Happy Family, Medea's Family Reunion, Boo, the Halloween movie. I don't know if they made a part 2 of that. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Medea's on the cover of that. Madea, A Family Funeral. That's 5. Madea Goes to Jail. That's 6. Madea Christmas is 7. Madea Witness Protection. That's 8. Boo Part 2. That's 9. Let's keep going. Tyler Perry, Madea on the Run. That's 10. Madea, another Medea's Class Reunion. That's 11. I see a cartoon with Madea Tough to Love. That's 12. This is what I'm just counting based on what I'm seeing here. I don't know if the family that prays have Madea in it, or Why Did I Get Married. That looks like they didn't have Madea in those movies. So we're counting here on Madea, the Neighbor from Hell. I don't know if that's a play or a film. And then I ain't even counted in stuff like Meet the Browns and stuff like that, right? Which a lot of people have criticized as well for being, on that buffoonery side, right? I'm not dissing it. I'm just calling it like it is. It is what it is, right? And I think that, so think about this. You made at least 10 movies. It looks like more, using the same character, and it's a joke. It's not serious theater. It's not like it's a movie that's some sort of deep drama. Even the Joker, which was about a character in a I guess not a cartoon character, but a comic book character. The Joker was made into a dramatic kind of film, like an epic sort of like deep drama that addressed social issues and expressed this extraordinary cinematography. And the one time I did talk to Tyler on the phone, one of the things he mentioned in terms of the difference between himself and guys like Spike Lee is he said, I never went to film school. And I said, that's probably an advantage for you in terms of knowing how to make a movie on a budget. So I don't have any sort of feeling about Tyler Perry one way or the other, in terms of good or bad, meaning that, we live in a free country. So if I don't like a Tyler Perry movie, I just don't have to watch it. So I don't really care so much about it. But I think in terms of ignoring in Hollywood, I think that the reason Tyler gets ignored is because, sometimes we forget the difference between a quality filmmaker and a filmmaker who makes money, right? A filmmaker who makes money, you can make money with porn, right? I'm sure porn stars have an easier time making money than people who do, like serious theater, right? Or if you talk about even go on Instagram. I have people that I've seen on Instagram who are therapists or scholars who have profound ideas, and they'll have maybe a few hundred followers. But then I'll see somebody, literally some dumb girl who's just showing her ass and wearing bikinis every day, and she'll have 1.2 million. So the question becomes like, what really matters to you? And I'm not saying Tyler's work is low quality, but I am going to say that there is a dimension other than race that might lead Hollywood to ignore Tyler Perry. But again, I think race does play a part in it as well. But here's the thing, right? I think that Tyler being ignored by Hollywood is really good for him. I think that he is able to your point, using money as a tool to fight white supremacy. Tyler's been able to really do well on a financial tip because I think he's very creative and intelligent about how he built his empire. The first thing he figured out, I think, that allowed him to build what he has now is that he figured out that he's not white. And why do I say that? Well, because a lot of filmmakers I know, we've made movies. We have Boyce Watkins Entertainment, and we've made several movies: Resurrecting Black Wall Street, Raising a Black Scholar, The Black Love Blueprint. Democracy, a Black American Horror Story. We've got some really good movies out there. If you guys ever want to see them, which is at allblackeducation.com. It's allblackeducation.com. It's an educational streaming service that you can feel free to check out. But anyway, the thing is that, as I've made these movies, one thing I've learned is that there are people that make movies who think that they should make movies the way white people make movies. The problem with that is that in Hollywood, they have an insane amount of capital available to them. They can go to the bank and get $100 million loan, not like that, but pretty easily. With 10 million, $5 million, no problem, right? And in the Black community, that money is rare. And so Tyler did something different from a lot of other Black filmmakers. I see a lot of other Black filmmakers who will go to if they want to make a movie, what they'll do is they'll go to white people and they'll say, I want to make this really pro-black movie. Give me money. Can you give me money? And the white people are like, no, fuck you. We're not gonna give you shit. Like we don't owe you anything. We don't want to make that movie. We don't want to make a black Django movie. Like we'll let Quentin Tarantino make the movie because he's one of us, but we're not gonna give a black person money to make a Django movie, right? And then they say, oh, this ain't right. Y'all won't give us the money to make a pro-black movie. Well, that's because if you're gonna make a movie about black liberation, do you really think your oppressor is gonna fund your liberation? No, they're not going to. White people are not going to fund black liberation theater. That's just not what they do, right? Just like I'm not going to fund white power theater. I'm not doing that. Like if you want to be white power, you can do it. Just don't use it. You ain't using my money to do it. And so I think that with Tyler, what I liked about his business model is he did something a lot of filmmakers don't do and don't know how to do. This is where necessity breeds some of our best entrepreneurs out here. He basically went to the customer. He went and he created these plays and in books, and he went to the customer. He sold one book at a time, one ticket at a time. So he learned how to go direct to the consumer to the point where Tyler had made $100 million before Hollywood or anybody in Hollywood ever even paid attention to him. He was already a multimillionaire before he got on their map. And a lot of these black filmmakers that you see can't do that. They don't know how to sell a ticket. They don't know how to distribute their own product. They don't know how to put on their own show. They don't know how to put their own stuff out to the public. So what they do is they sit there and they knock on the door. They're knocking on the door of Sony, knock, slam in your face. Knock on the door of Warner Brothers, knock, slam in your face. Knock on the door of Universal, knock, slam in your face. Knock on the door of Amazon, knock, slam in your face. Because they never learned basic business and business models. And here's the thing. I don't know if Tyler Perry ever went to business school. He probably didn't. I don't think he did. I mean, he was out making Madea movies and whatever. So he probably never went to business school. But here's the thing. Most great entrepreneurs that I've seen, a lot of them never went to business school. So a lot of people of you think, oh, well, I can't start a business because I never learned how. I don't know how to be an entrepreneur. I don't know how. Well, a lot of it's a culture. It's like how do you learn how to be a rapper? Or is there a rap school that you go to? Do you need to go get a degree in hip hop to learn how to be a rapper? No, you spend time in the culture. You commit yourself to learning it and adapting it and figuring out how to create your own style. And then next thing you know, you're in the studio, you're spitting rhymes, you're doing your thing, you're doing ciphers on the corner, whatever, battle rap and all that. Next thing you know, you're a good rapper, right? Same thing is true of being a great entrepreneur. It just sort of comes with the culture. It just sort of, you're just doing it and laying it out there. And the next thing you know, you're just good at it. And so long story short, what I'm going to say to you guys is that Tyler Perry has a type of genius that I think should be recognized. His genius, honestly, is not, making epic movies that are going to win Oscars, right? But who cares about an Oscar? An Oscar is stupid. It's something that they made up so they wouldn't have to pay the actors more money. Like I don't have a lot of respect for that. I don't care about that type of stuff. I want to see something I like, not necessarily something that that hoity-toity critics like, these little latte sipping liberals that live up in New York City or whatever. Like I'm not a fan of any of that, right? I'm more of a meat and potatoes type guy anyway. But I think that you should pay attention to how he figured out how to make his first few dollars, because that opened the door up for him to make all those other dollars. And if you look at if you study the sequence of the work he's made, you can see that some basic themes come up in all of his films. The themes I'm seeing are Black women, church, family, and drama. That's what it is. If you look at haves and have-nots, you got drama. You look at why did I get married and the family that prays. There's family. You look at some of these other movies. Everybody's always going to church or whatever, right? Madea is always about that drama, and then there's comedy, right? So it's like dramedy kind of thing, or drama with comedy thrown in the middle. These moments that make you laugh, and I respect it. I'm not going to watch these movies. I don't own them. Well, Alicia and I have never gotten up one day and said, "Ooh, let's watch a Tyler Perry movie." If Tyler Perry starts a streaming service, no, sorry, Tyler, but we're not going to subscribe. But I think you can learn something from the game. The same way Tyler drilled his niche and figured out how to make great movies for Black Christian women about church, family, and drama with a little comedy sprinkled in there. You can do that with anything. You can do that with education. You can do that with sci-fi. You can do that with with action films. You can do that with a lot of stuff. And a lot of Black filmmakers should pay attention to that in terms of understanding that Hollywood ain't the only place that a movie can be made. Mark Harris, for example, who's a friend of mine, who's a great filmmaker, who's made great movies like Black and Privileged and Black Coffee, stuff like that. He doesn't want to go to Hollywood. You know, he's able to make money without going to Hollywood. Lamar Tyler, out of Atlanta, just like Tyler Perry, he doesn't go to Hollywood. But he's made, you know, lots of money with his movies. Rick Mathis, who is in Atlanta, doesn't want to go to Hollywood, and Black Friday did extremely well. The Black Friday series did really well. Tariq Nasheed, now he lives in Hollywood, but Hollywood isn't his support base, right? But Hidden Colors is a multi-million-dollar film franchise, right? So we have the ability to create things of our own. And just because you don't like Tyler Perry's style doesn't mean you can't learn from Tyler Perry's achievements. Also, you should not compare yourself to Tyler Perry either, because we know that there are going to be a whole lot more opportunities for a Black man who puts on a dress than there are going to be for a Black man who puts on his thinking cap, or a Black man who puts on his love for the Black woman, or a Black man who puts out, you know, something that's very positive and intelligent for Black people. That's why when you guys even come to my platform, first thing I tell you is that this is a platform for intelligent Black people who want to build the future. So if you're not intelligent and you're into coonery, then this isn't the place for you. So figure out who you are, be the best version of that person that you can be, and stop believing that white people hold all the keys to your success and failure, because that is just not true. They do not. And I would say with Tyler, you know, God bless him, because last time I checked, Tyler was making millions before a white man ever knocked at his door. And I really think that Hollywood ignoring him is actually good for him, because if they start paying too much attention to you, then suddenly you're going to find billions of dollars chasing the market that Tyler Perry has established himself in, and that creates lots of competition for him, which could reduce his ability to make a profit as a film entrepreneur. You know, he doesn't want Warner Brothers, Sony, Amazon, Apple, and Disney all saying, okay, we're going to create, you know, our own Madea character, and we're going to go in and we're going to compete with Tyler Perry so we can get a piece of that market. You don't want them to do what they're doing to Netflix, because that's what they're doing to Netflix right now. Netflix had a good thing going. Netflix was like, we're going to go in here, we're going to scrape up this stuff that nobody wants. We're going to license these movies that nobody's watching, and we're going to build this little streaming service. And we're going to start making it work. Next thing you know, Netflix is doing better than everybody else. Netflix is making money on the par with a Disney. Netflix, you know, ends up with a corporate valuation that exceeds major automobile manufacturers. People are like, what the hell just happened? So now Disney's like, okay, we about to go get this bread. We about to step in this game ourselves, and we're going to go and get a piece of that Netflix money. Next thing you know, Netflix is in big trouble because Disney is going hard. Disney's like, we'll lose billions of dollars for the next 4 years just so we can steal all your customers, right? So ultimately, Tyler Perry being ignored by Hollywood, I believe, is good for him. It's good to be off the radar. Like, I like the fact that I'm not too mainstream, because I like being off the grid. I like being off the radar. You know, it's sometimes being on the radar, having everybody pay attention to you ain't always good, because there's actually an old saying that in China that says the fattest pig always gets slaughtered. So to me, Tyler's in the sweet spot. I think Tyler can do a lot with his studio. I think that long after he's gone, the legacy of how the studio was built, that people won't remember so much about Madea, and they'll remember all the other great projects that I think are going to come out of this. Because I think Tyler hears the criticism, and I believe Tyler is going to open the door for other filmmakers to come along and make projects that are completely different from Madea. Because now that you've invested all this money into the studio, now you got to monetize that. I can't imagine what the bills are for that studio space. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to guess. I'm going to guess $2-3 million a month that it would cost just to run the damn thing, not to mention paying all the actors and everything else. But maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But I know that he's going to have to really hustle in order to really get his money back on these massive investments that he's making. And that's going to be a challenge, I think, for him. And I look forward to seeing how that plays out. So that's what I'm seeing with Tyler Perry. I do wish him the best. When I spoke to Tyler, I liked him as a person, and that's why you're not going to see me really diss that brother too hard. I mean, in fact, I'm not going to diss him at all. I'll just give you my truth, though. Like, if you ask me, like, are you going to go see the next Madea movie? I'm going to be like, fuck no, I don't watch that shit. You know, no disrespect to Madea. It's just not my thing, right? Let's see here. Doc, if Tyler hired you, you know you would take the invitation. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. If Tyler wanted to talk to me again on the phone, I would not ignore him. In fact, he gave me a phone number. I used it one time. I don't know if I still have it. I don't really chase around celebrities like that. I think it's overrated. right? A lot of people want to be close to celebrities because Black people love celebrities. We actually, studies show we worship celebrities more than other people do. I'm not into that because I've seen how celebrities are built, and it's like Wizard of Oz. It's not mysterious and magical to me anymore. Like most of your Black celebrities were invented by white people. If white people invent you, I'm not impressed by that. I decide independently if I'm impressed with you, and then I decide if I want to give you my time and actually meet with you. So I've actually had big name celebrities that wanted to talk to me, and I'd be like, why? Like, why do I want to talk to this person just because they made some fucking mumble rap song that everybody listens to on the radio? I give zero fucks about that because I know that if some white man hadn't come along and put money behind you, nobody would know who you are. So I'm impressed with Black people who are self-made, who really who aren't just people that were scooped up and thrown on top of a platform. So don't get caught up in being excited to meet somebody just because some white man put them on TV. Many of them, as you said right there, many of them are invented, and that's just the reality. That's what I see when I'm looking at these things. So anyway, I'm gonna head out. Hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, don't forget I'll be in New York on October 27th doing an investment seminar. It's going to be day long, you and me in a private room with a small number of people, and we're going to basically talk about how to build economies within your own family, how to build a wealth legacy in your family. It's going to last for 200 years, how to basically connect with other investors, investment-minded Black people that are in the room, and how to basically learn how the stock market works, all this stuff. This is what I do. This is what I love. This is what I'm well trained at. I'm one of the best in the world at this. So if you want to come out to New York, you want to fly in, go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. I think you're going to love it. And also don't forget, if you don't like Facebook or you're getting annoyed with it or you're worried about it, we actually have a Black social media platform, blagenough.com. So feel free to go to blagenough.com. Here's how you spell it. There's conversations happening right there, right now. When am I back in Chicago? Well, actually, I live near Chicago, so I'm going to do probably some local events in the near future, like just fun stuff. Like I might actually get everybody together for a spades tournament or a poker tournament or whatever, just something. I don't know. I got to teach you guys how to play poker. If you don't know how to play it, we can do a poker tournament or something. So just keep your eyes open. We're going to probably have some events in the Chicagoland area, which might be like Joliet, which is pretty close to where I live. So ultimately, the goal will be just to come together and do things together as Black people. And then if y'all want to talk business, we can also talk business. So just something fun for us to do. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the notification bell, please, if you haven't done that. And also, what's up to everybody on Instagram? My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you want some real Black conversations that are really going to challenge your thinking, feel free to go to Instagram and look up The Real Boyce Watkins, or also on Twitter. I'm at Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, the number 1 at the end. So feel free to go to Dr. Boyce Watkins 1 or The Real Boyce Watkins, and we can continue the conversation there. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. It was wonderful talking to you, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.